Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be doing a mock draft post Super Bowl. So let's start it up. The first pick, I'm gonna have this mock draft where Cam Ward falls a little bit, not much. So let's say the Titans, they need pass rush, but they say they want a generational talent. So maybe Travis Hunter could play corner, play receiver, could help multiple needs for the Titans. The Browns, Myles Garrett might get traded, and even if they keep Myles Garrett, a Duke Carter and Myles Garrett would be a great fit. And now the Giants would take Cam Ward because they need quarterback, and Cam Ward is probably the best quarterback here. Duke Carter's really good edge that the Browns took, and Travis Hunter can play corner, can play receiver. He's a great pick for the Titans. Now the Patriots, they could use tackle. I think they might trade here with the Raiders because the Raiders might be scared that the Jets might try to trade up. And let's do a trade. So they would trade with the Patriots and the Raiders. It wouldn't be much. It'd probably be like this. Oh, it's not enough. What about like that? See, in real life, it would probably be a second round pick in the first, but in this, you gotta do the third. So that should go through. Now the Raiders take Shedeur Sanders at number 4. And now I'm gonna do trades because it's post Super Bowl, and every pick is a locked in stone. And now the Jags, Will Johnson fell a little bit. He's not as big of a prospect. I think they take Mason Graham, defensive lineman, because he's a great D lineman. Oh, let me talk about Shedeur a little bit. I was talking about the trade. Shedeur Sanders, I don't think he's quarterback 1. I would be surprised if even the Raiders trade up for him, but I just want to see a world where they could, because I could see them. They like Shedeur a lot. They might get ANC and want to trade up for him. So I could see it. And I think he's a good player. I think he has fine pocket presence. And I think right now, coming out of college, he's pretty good. So I think he could be a little bit win now. I think his potential's a little capped. So I like that for the Raiders because they have an old coach who wants to win now. Or he could sit behind like Russell Wilson or something. The Raiders have a lot of options to do. Now Mason Graham is a great defensive tackle. Put him next to Eric Armstead, who just won Walter Payton Man of the Year. I like that pick for the Jags. I could see the Patriots going Will Campbell or Takk McMillan. Now they traded down, assuming Takk McMillan would win because they want Will Campbell. I like Will Campbell. I think he's the best lineman in the class. And I'm going to have Takk falling a little bit because I think the Patriots really need linemen. So yeah, in the second round, they could draft a receiver. And there's like Isaiah Bond, someone like that. So now the Jets. I could see them taking Takk, but I think they have bigger needs than receiver. But he is best player available. So I think not to take Will Johnson, corner. I think they're going to lose DJ Reed and just make that defense even better. You already have Garrett Wilson. I don't know about Devontae Adams. If he leaves, then Takk McMillan probably would have been the pick. But I like that for the Jets. And now the Panthers are thrilled. They get Takk McMillan, a great receiver, to help Bryce Young. Him next to Leggett. I love that for the Panthers. And now the Saints. Let me talk about Takk McMillan actually. Takk McMillan next to Leggett and Adam Thielen. That offense would be great. The Panthers do really need defense, but as we can see, they were more focused on offense and making that offense better. And then I think they're going to eventually do defense in free agency and later in the draft. Just make that offense as good as possible. Now we have the Saints, and I think they take. This is tough because there's a lot of good players. I think they take Micaiah Williams, edge rusher. Looks like Cam Jordan might retire. He's too much money. The Saints should cut him, and they need edge. Micah Williams is a great edge with a lot of potential. I like that pick a lot for the Saints. So yeah, Micah Williams goes to the Saints. Now, I like Genty to the Bears. The Bears need a running back, and because what's his face? Ben Johnson loves running the ball a lot, and I think Genty is a star running back. I think he'll be great for the Bears. They can figure out offensive line in free agency. And now for the Niners, I'm stuck between two people: Jalen Walker and Kevin Banks. I think they take Jalen Walker. He could play edge. He could play coverage. He's great for a 4-3. And the Niners could use edge. I think Drake Greenlaw might be a free agent. Either way, they could use a linebacker depth. And I just like that a lot. Kevin Banks Jr. could be useful, but as we see, the Niners usually don't draft tackles. They're usually in the first round, and they're great at finding them in the later rounds. So I think they take edge. Jalen Walker can do everything on defense, and I can think that make that defense with Robert Saleh great. Now the Dallas Cowboys. I could see them taking linemen because they like taking linemen a lot, and that line is a mess. Or I think they'd take a receiver. Jerry Jones loves big names, loves big name hunting, and they could very well use Luther Burden next to CeeDee Lamb and Jonathan Mingo. So I like that pick a lot for the Cowboys. Now the Dolphins. They're ecstatic Kevin Banks dropped. People think he's the best tackle. I think he's the second best. Having the second best tackle for you at 13 is a dream. Now they have two great tackles, and hopefully the offensive line could be fixed. That offense should be great. And that defense, you have edge rushers who show potential. Chop Robinson is playing pretty good. The linebackers aren't terrible. You want to get better there. The defensive line, you want to get better. And their corners, I can do that in free agency. Other rounds, you can get a great defensive tackle later in the draft. So, and linebackers, you get one in the second round, third round. So, I like that pick for the Miami Dolphins. Now the Colts, I think, take Tyler Warren, the best tight end in the class. He's great. He can catch the ball at an insane level. He could do a little bit of Taysom Hill and throw the football. I love Tyler Warren, and give Anthony Richardson even more weapons to try to see if he has any potential. Now for the Falcons, they need edge. James Pierce Jr., a great edge rusher, is falling in this, and I think he's a great fit, and I think he's one of the best edge rushers in the class. So I love that pick for the Falcons. They need edge, and they have edge now. Matthew Judon, James Pierce Jr., and other players who will fit better as a 3 or a 4. So I like that pick a lot for the Falcons. Now the Cardinals don't need safety, even though Malik Starks is a great player. I could see maybe the Bengals taking him next pick. They could use linemen. That's who the mock draft thinks I should take. I think they would take edge, even though 3 great edge rushers came off the board. I think they take Mike Green, a lot of potential, moving up mock drafts, and usually those players with athletic traits will move up even further. So I like that a lot for the Cardinals. Get yourself an edge rusher because you need defense bad. Now for the Bengals, I think they take Malik Starks. They do have. I think corner. Benjamin Morrison's falling a little bit. I've always had this pick. I'm going to have. I could see him in the second, maybe trading up for him. I think they're going to make that. This is a tough pick. Defensive line. Yeah, I think take Walter Nolan, defensive lineman. They have a bunch of defensive tackles going to free agency, and they could use corner. I could see in the second round, or them trading up into the first round. I like Walter Nolan a lot. Make that defensive line great. And if you could stop the run, and maybe your corners can develop DJ Turner, that defense can be improved a lot. I think they do a lot of stuff in the draft for defense. Now, the Seahawks, I don't know who they're going to take in real life, but people say they don't take linemen. I want to take Josh Simmons, but people really don't think the Seahawks taking linemen. And there's a lot of good edge rushers. I think they take Sherman Stewart. He's a great He's a great edge rusher, and I think he could fit right into that Mike McDonald scheme, and he could rush the passer at a high level. I love that for the Seahawks, and I love that pick. Okay, now the Bucks. I could see them going safety. I like their safeties. Safeties sometimes fall, so I could see receiver. I could see corner Jahad Barron out of Texas. They need corners. Their corners are going to free agency. Their defense did not play great last season, so I like that pick a lot for the Bucks. I could see maybe Ikem Abukum, slot receiver to replace Chris Godwin if you can't re-sign him, because Baker Mayfield's contract is a little big. But I like that pick for the Bucks. Make that defense better. Todd Bowles is a defensive guy, so he's probably going to want that pick. Now, for the Denver Broncos, I could see receiver. If they want to make this defense even better than it already is, take Malik Starks. But I think they take receiver, Ikem Abukum. They need receiver, and he's the best guy available. He can play in the slot. You have Cortland Sutton, who's your outside guy, and just make Bo Nix's job even easier. And they already have a good defense, so I don't know if they'll take defense, but I love that pick for the Broncos. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I could see them trading down. I could see them I think they take Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle. They need another defensive tackle because theirs is probably going to retire. And in Cameron Hayward, he's getting worse. So I like that pick a lot for the Steelers. Just make that defense even better. In free agency, get quarterback. There's no receivers you would like to take with the 21st pick here. In the second round, there's going to be a receiver, Isaiah Bond, who the Steelers like taking them in the second round. They should have great success taking receivers in the second round. So I love that for the Steelers. Now the Chargers, I think they take Colston Loveland, the second best tight end, the best receiving option. He's out of Michigan. Mike, I forget the head coach's name. He was a head coach at Michigan, and he probably loves this guy. So I like to pick a lot for the Chargers. It just makes too much sense. Now, the Green Bay Packers. They were a tough one. They could use corner, and I could see that. But Malik Starks is falling. I could see them taking him. But I think they really need corner. But I don't think Benjamin Morrison would go here. The Packers need a lot of things on defense. Their edge rushers weren't great. They just lost Preston Smith, the first time pick from a couple years ago. So yeah, I think take Nick Surtain, and he's a great pick. And they really, really need edge rusher. So I think that should make their edge a lot better. He could be a rotational guy, or Luke Van could be a rotational guy. Just get more bodies at edge. Make that a strength of your team. Now, the Vikings, they have old Harrison Smith, Malik Starks falling to them. This is a great pick. Getting one of the best players in the draft falling to 24. You're taking that 10 out of 10 times. He's a great safety. I think Brian Flores would have a lot of fun using Malik Starks like a Kyle Hamilton. Love that. Now, the Texans get Tyler Booker, best guard available. Love that pick for the Texans. They need a guard, and now they have it in Tyler Booker. Now, the Rams, they could use tackle. They could use lineman. I think they get Josh Simmons, best lineman available. And these guys are falling, so now you're going to see a run on them. I could see even the Ravens taking one of them. Josh Simmons can play guard or tackle. Great player. Now, I think the Ravens would. I think Nah, they wouldn't trade up with the Bengals. I was gonna have the Bengals trade up, but I don't see that. I guess they could use corner, but I think they need offensive linemen because their O line wasn't great, and this guy is falling. He's a first round pick. He's a great lineman. So at a Mizzou, so love that pick at a Missouri. Now I could see the Bills trading down. The Lions trading down. They need just bodies on defense, and they're pretty much stacked. So where are the Detroit Lions with the Bengals? Because I really think the Bengals either want Benjamin Morrison to fall, and they need defense bad. The Lions do too, but it's fine. Their defense had a lot of injuries. Okay, well, I guess the trade's not going to work. So, no trade. My fault. I think they take not corner. The game says they should take corner. I don't think corner should be the option. I think they take. I could see lineman Donovan Jackson, or you know what, Jack Sawyer. I like that edge pick. He could play all over the defense, and whoever the new defense coordinator hopefully is good. Can do a lot of things with it. Play inside, play outside. If there's injuries, he could plug a hole. I like that a lot for the Lions. Pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson. Great pick. Now, the Washington Commanders. I think it's an easy pick in Matthew Golden, receiver out of Texas. They need another receiver. He's another outside guy with Terry McLaurin. You have Diami Brown if you want to keep him. I like that a lot. Get Jay Daniels more weapons to play with. They do need defense, but they could use corner. I think they're waiting for the second round. I think they spent a lot of money in the free agency for defense. And Benjamin Morrison could have been a pick here. I don't know if he's going to fall this far in real life, but here he is. And now the Bills, they could use corner. They're saying this is where he would go. I like Benjamin Morrison for the Bills. Their corners, Rasul Douglas is good. He's old and he's hitting free agency. I don't know if they can re-sign him or want to re-sign him. So I like Benjamin Morrison to the Bills. Now the Chiefs, I think they could use defensive linemen. Because that D-line, they did play good against the Eagles. The defense wasn't really the problem. They could use more explosive weapons. But Isaiah Bond, basically Xavier Worthy 2.0. They could use linemen. Donovan Jackson would be a great pick here. The only problem with that is, or tackle. I could see tackle. Actually, I think they're taking tackle. See, I see them taking best player available. Maybe Derek Coleman's falling a lot. But that you can't pass up on tackle. Their offensive line was terrible. They take the best offensive lineman. And now with the final pick in the first round, they take the Eagles, of course. Just have a great defensive tackle fall into the lap. Derek Coleman out of Oregon. He's great. And they just have one of the best defensive tackle cores. They like having depth at that position. Milton Williams is probably going to hit free agency. I don't think they could pay him. So you just keep refilling that. Thank you for watching. This is my post Super Bowl mock draft. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you have a great day. And see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.